Hello drone racers, I'm Mark, and today on Drone Racer 101 we are going to do a micro cam shootout. You've seen the Mobius Mini review, at least you should have, there's a link up in the corner. You've seen the Hawkeye Firefly review, same deal, it's in the corner. You've not seen the SQ12 review, at least not by me, so I got one of those too, and I wanted to compare all three of them. How do you do that with different flights? It's not fair. Well, I built a rig. I actually did my first 3D printer design just for this config. I built this top plate and got it sized to fit so it would fit between a couple screws here and the cameras with spacing to fit everything right in there. It's really simple, but it was super handy. Then I just mounted all three cameras on here. Now the SQ12 looks like it has a little bit of an advantage because this is a malleable TPU mount. These are hard mounts, so this is the mount it comes with. This is one that I printed because I didn't have any TPU right now, and this is one that I bought that actually didn't hold up too well. So it's wrapped in a zip tie also to hold it together just so it doesn't fall out. But I figure that's still good enough to do a test. So down below I actually have a playlist of a bunch of different videos that I've recorded for here. I had a flight that I went around and recorded with all of them at the same time, and I have the raw recordings as close as I can get it on YouTube. Unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. The audio for the SQ12 is totally jacked up, and the Firefly is a little bit off too. The Mobius Mini looks great, except it was upside down, so I did have YouTube reverse it. Then I also have a video of each where I cut out all the extra parts to just show you what you want to see and made the audio as bearable as I could, but turn down your audio before you watch any of those. Here though, we're gonna look at the first clip in that playlist that combines them all side by side. Now this is actually a 4K 60 frames per second video, so with that I'm able to include all of these as 1080 in the same picture. So you'll notice right off the bat, the SQ12 color is terrible. It takes it a while, and then it does fix itself after a little while. Also, the Hawkeye Firefly, I did confirm that it's the frame that's showing you that circle picture. So you should be able to print a different frame. Once I've got some TPU in, I'll probably print a different one for it to get rid of that. There, the SQ12 is all caught up. Now the Mobius Mini has actually recorded at 1080 60 frames per second. The Firefly and the SQ12 are both only 30 frames per second, but they did pretty good. The Hawkeye, once it caught up, I don't think it doesn't look too bad. The Firefly, I think, has a little better color, a little better definition. The Mobius Mini definitely comes out the cleanest though, but it is the biggest and heaviest of the three. So I tried to dance around a little bit to get different views of everything that was going on, and then I hit a branch. What actually happened is I broke a prop. I didn't know what was going on. It sounds terrible, and I was afraid I was rubbing a wire or the cameras were all gonna fall off and hanging off the side. So I just got on the ground as fast as I possibly could. Once I came up and checked it, one of my 3-blade props actually just broke off. See that? It was still flying with that, and in the longer clips I actually flew it around and tried it again with it flying like that. So I was super impressed with this thing, that it could keep going and keep flying even with a totally broken prop. So as far as conclusions go, if you've got room for it and you can afford it, the Mobius Mini I think is the way to go. But it is a lot more expensive than the others. Right now the Mobius Mini is about $70, and it's heavier and the bracket is bigger to mount it on. You could have other options, but this is a pretty nice printed bracket for it. The Firefly is about $25, and it comes with this nice mount, except this mount isn't nice because you get this ring around the 1080p picture. With the 720p you don't get that. So I'm thinking you could probably trim this out and get it to work, or you could just print another one. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably make a soft mount for this. The SQ12 is the cheapest of the bunch, and you can get this for about $12. I got this one on Amazon for $25 because I wanted to get it in quickly. The lens sticking out actually helps a little bit for this, so it gets it in front of the mount. This probably wouldn't have that problem if it had that camera sticking out, but that also gives you something else to ease your damage, although it's even worse with the Mobius. Setup recording is pretty much identical between the two. The colors are different on the LEDs, but that's about it. The one thing that creeped me out on the SQ12 is when you're recording, the light actually turns off, which is weird. It took me a few tries to figure that out. It's like, no, the light's off. It is recording. I'm used to it flashing or something. That's what the other two do. This mount was made for the SQ11. It was just a little bit small, but an SQ12 mount will probably work for that. If you don't know, TPU is just a more flexible material, so it will bounce and give and avoid vibrations a little bit. Not sure if you can tell in the video or not though. So in my Furby Nebula review, one of the things I said would be good about it is if you wanted a big top plate so you could do things with it, it's the way to go, and that's exactly what I did here. I had 36 millimeters between the screws, plenty of room to mount this frame and get it all set up in place. I hollowed out the bottom so there was room for my zip ties. This turned out to be a really good test bed for this. So if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know, of the three, which one will you pick now, seeing some additional footage side by side. That's as side by side as you can possibly get. Until next time, remember, yeah, I can totally print a wider plate if we get another camera to test.